Hello everybody, and welcome to Wounded Healer Tarot. My name is James, and I'll be doing a reading today. This particular reading is for the sign of Cancer. I'm going to be using what is called the Talisman Spread, and it's from a particular oracle deck I have called the Talisman Oracle, but that is not the oracle that I'm currently using. So, with that, let us get started. In the position of your subconscious, we have guidance is golden. So this card in particular speaks to, right, getting guidance, but from the right source, right? Now that can be from within you, that can be from within somebody else. But if you are seeking this guidance from somebody else, you want to make sure that it's somebody who has actual experience and knowledge in this particular situation that you are seeking guidance for. Now, to further clarify that, we have the Two of Cups. So to me, this is speaking to, finding that guidance within yourself, letting your intuition guide you. Which makes sense because out here in a different position here, we have the card Trust Your Wisdom, which speaks to trusting your intuition. Now, in the position of your possibilities or obstacles, we have Rest Deeply. Now, this card speaks to the importance of rest. Now, in today's world where, working yourself to the bone is rewarded and people are made to feel bad when they decide to take a break, when they decide to rest a little bit, finding rest is not something that a lot of people are comfortable with. And I feel like rest it's like become a luxury in a sense, right? Now, there is a season for everything, including rest. Everything it needs to take a break from work, from creating, and they need to recharge their inner batteries. They need to regain energy, regain strength, right? Because if you continue to do and you're constantly pushing yourself, you're going to tire yourself out. You're going to, become quite exhausted, and you're not going to be able to create or work at your optimal capacity. And the things that you're working on are going to suffer in the place of quality. So, I feel like you could be having difficulty, finding the time to really rest, finding, the time to take a time out. Okay, yeah, and I mean, to further clarify that, we have this Three of Wands. Like, I feel like you need a little getaway, right? I feel like, whether it's like a day, a couple of days, a week, a month, whatever works for you, whatever you have the time for. But I feel like there is a real need for a little getaway right now. Now, in the position of your best course of action, we have Set Your Intentions, which speaks to understanding your why and moving from there, right? Because why you do things is really where your intentions come from. It fuels your intentions. The reason for which you're doing something is essentially, what's going to determine your intention. And understanding your why is what's going to help you to move forward more clearly with your intentions, or rather to help you move forward even more intently. And to further clarify that, we have the Tower. So, I feel like there may be like a need for a change of course, and I feel like that may be something that you really come to terms with once you do take this trip or find that time to rest. Once you slow down, you're better able to evaluate things, including yourself and your own personal intentions. And I feel like, this is, everybody's afraid of the tower, which I think is kind of silly. Because yes, the tower is intense energy, but it is change, it is transformation, it is that first push, right? Like, for example, like if you've been ignoring something that needs to change, it will change eventually, because the universe is going to have to push you into it. When you ignore things, that just delays the inevitable. Whatever's meant to happen will happen. Now, in the position of your outside forces here, we have love unabashedly. Now, to me, this card really speaks to, living with your heart wide open, right? This is speaking to love and what it actually is here. Because, there's a lot of people, say you're back and forth with somebody for quite some time, right? And it doesn't even have to be romantically, okay? It's just you're back and forth with somebody, your connection is straight and then it's not, straight and then it's not. And it's like, there's things that happen between people, right? But you're really not meant to sit here and keep score. Love doesn't keep score. Love just is. And it's like, once you let go of the need to do little things like that, you will better be able to embrace love. And that will trickle out through all of your connections or relationships. And to further clarify that, we have the High Priestess. I almost called her the Queen of Wands. I don't know why. But I feel like, you really, like, I feel like you sort of, in a sense, like you understand this, this. It's just a matter of you, really disciplining yourself and practicing this, putting it into action, right? Because it's one thing to have the knowledge, but it's another entirely, to utilize said knowledge. Now, in your surroundings and family, we have retreat. Now, this to me is like the boy in the bubble card, right? Because this swan here, they have this bubble around them, but it's a protective bubble. It's sort of like a cocoon, right? I feel like you're being, like your surroundings or your family, like that is your bubble, right? That is where you go to rest, to heal. And I mean, that definitely kind of aligns here, since we have that rest deeply card, right? It's really like, this is like the hermit in the tarot. Okay. This is where you take time out from others. So this could, again, be speaking to a little getaway, right? Get yourself an Airbnb. Go somewhere secluded. Or, whatever you're down to do. Whatever helps you feel safe. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Okay? And that is a place where you can stop and do some deep healing here. Yeah, because being further clarified by this Two of Wands, okay, I feel like you're really contemplating your future. You're really, I feel like you're really seeing the big picture at this time, and you're trying to plan accordingly. Now, in the position of your driving force here, we have trust your wisdom. And as I mentioned earlier, this is a card that speaks to trusting yourself, trust the universe, trust what you see and what you feel. Trusting your intuition is really what's going to help drive you forward. Then also having the High Priestess out here to further clarify something else. Your intuition is going to be very beneficial to utilize. And then here, to further clarify that, we have the Three of Cups. So, You you could be you could be really using your intuition here to, weed out fake people in your life. You could be using your intuition to guide you as far as people to connect with, people to let into your life, which really makes a lot of sense with this retreat card that we just had, where you're really kind of like building that bubble around you and taking a look at the bigger picture, a big part of your life, you know, not only with family, but, the friends, because for some people, family isn't blood. Family are friends, chosen family, soul family, stuff like that. So, I feel like there's a real emphasis on the people that you keep around you and in your life. Now, lastly, in the position of your outcome here, we have create. Now, I definitely get that you yourself are some sort of creative individual, and this card speaks to being creative as, using art as a form of therapy, as a form of something to really ground you, to center you, and to keep you in the moment. And now, art can be anything. That all depends upon your particular perception. Like I myself, reading tarot is an art. I do crystal wrapping. I do wood burning. I'm a sketch artist, right? I do a lot of creative things, and that for me is my zen. That for me is very meditative. It brings me back to myself, right? It brings me back into the moment. And it helps keep me present. It helps keep me aware. And I feel like that is essentially the outcome that we're having here, because I feel like, you've really been missing a lot of the beauty around you. Because if you look in this card, right, this individual is surrounded by such beautiful flowers. This is a beautiful, painting a beautiful landscape, right? And they're just sitting there playing their violin. Yeah, I think that's a violin. But, they're very present. They're able to now appreciate the beauty around them. And to further clarify that, we have the King of Cups, which, I feel like creating, right? Doing artistic things will help you to really emotionally balance yourself, which is going to make it easier for you to make decisions where you may need to utilize your intuition, but you can only utilize your intuition if you yourself are internally balanced. And that definitely goes for emotions as well, because people who are not balanced in their emotions, can be very reactive, they can be very impulsive, and that does not work very well when it comes to making decisions, especially when it comes to head over heart decisions, right? All right, Cancer. So these are the messages that I have for you today, and I do hope that they serve you well. Be gentle with yourselves, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.